Salamat Pagi and welcome to another day on the Epic Java Adventure. I'm here in Bandung today and I'm trying to get to Chiwidey to go to the White Crater at Kawah Putih. I'm going to see if I can do that by public transport. So first I've had to take a grab to get to the terminal Louis Panjang. This is where I can get a bus to Chiwidey. Probably could have found a local Bandung bus to get me here from the hotel, but didn't really have a lot of time. But I'll try and do that on the way back, see if that's possible. So this is the Louis Panjang bus station, and apparently on the left hand side here somewhere I'm going to find a bus company called Elf, which will take me to Chiwidey. Well, I found the bus to Chiwidey and this is my transport for the next couple of hours. It costs 20,000 rupiah, which is quite cheap, but it's going to be a bit of a cramped journey. Well, this is where the minibus drops you off in Chiwidey, and also it's a place where you get the little angkot to Kawah Putih. So this is the angkot you need to go to Kawah Putih. Go to Patenggang. So in the angkot now, going to Kawah Putih. If you don't fancy angkot, there'll be people with objects that'll offer to take you up there, but I never fancy being on the back of a motorbike. So for me, it's the angkot.
It's quite a long drive up to the White Crater, but it is quite a scenic journey. You'll go past loads of strawberry farms as you head up into the hills. The angkot will stop and pick up loads of other passengers on the way, so do expect to become a subject of curiosity for the locals.
Well, the angkot dropped me off here at the entrance to Kawah Putih, which is on the main road. It's still about 4 or 5 kilometres to the actual crater itself, but you take a little orange minibus up to the crater from here, which I'm hoping, or I think, is included with the ticket price. The angkot man wanted to charge me 20,000 for coming up here, which seems actually ridiculous. I've heard that it should be about 10. So I gave him 15 and let him know basically that he shouldn't cheat people, but I'm sure he doesn't really care. Just Boule after all. So from the ticket office you take a orange minibus, which is included in the admission price, and that takes you about the 5 kilometres up to the actual crater itself. And there are a lot of minibuses here. So yeah, the little orange minibus is included in the price. It's 109,000 for the ticket, which is not too bad really. So the decision is, do I go to see the crater lake first or the tea fields at the back? Now if I remember rightly, this tea plantation goes on for absolutely miles.
It's quite a walk up the hill behind the White Crater, but the view of the tea fields from up here is amazing, with tea bushes stretching out over the hillsides as far as you can see. It's definitely worth the effort hiking up here. But nothing compares for the view of the tea fields that you get with the drone, even on a misty day such as this. It's only from the air that you really get to see just how big this tea plantation really is. I just wish that the weather was better today. Don't forget, if you have any questions about Kawah Putih, Bandung, or just backpacking around Java in general, then pop it in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. The weather here is better in the mornings before it starts to get cloudy. And so now I'm starting to regret being late and leaving this morning. The clouds are really starting to roll in now, so it's probably a good time to get back down to the crater lake. Although with the clouds so low over the tea bushes, now might be a good time to take a time-lapse video. If you don't feel confident taking public transport to here, you can also get a White Crater tour from Bandung, which may also include a trip to a hot springs and a strawberry plantation. If this is much more your kind of thing, then I do know a good Bandung driver. From where the tea fields are, you do get a great view of the White Crater, as well as all the dead trees around the crater itself, which I'm guessing is due to all the sulphurous fumes.
Well, there you go, a very misty White Crater. It's a pity it's so misty actually. I was going to fly the drone, but I don't think it'll come out very well. Never mind, as always, next time. That's just typical. I've got down to the crater and the mist's come in and it started to rain. So the visibility is crap. Just take my word for it, it's actually a really impressive crater lake when there's not so much low cloud. You can really smell the sulphur in the air and you can see all the sulphur precipitated on the shoreline here and see it in the water as well.
The lake is a really milky powder blue colour from all the precipitated sulphur, but to truly appreciate the colour, you do need to go up onto the tea fields hill behind the crater or fly a drone. The White Crater does get very busy at the weekends, so maybe try and avoid going there if you want to take photos or videos without loads of people in the way. There is some geothermal activity here. The water is always warm and there are several smoking vents around the crater, and there's also the ever-present smell of the sulphur.
Well, a little bit disappointing with the weather conditions here, but I have left it quite late in the day. Kawah Putih closes at 4:30 and it's not far from that now, so if I want to get a minibus back to the main road, I'm going to have to get my skates on.
They grow strawberries in the hills around here, and loads are for sale at the many stalls outside in the car park. They do look pretty tempting though, to be honest.
And I bought myself some strawberries. Couldn't come all this way to see all these strawberries and not try some. I'm guessing with the amount of warongs here and the absolutely massive amount of minibuses, this place must get very busy at the weekends. Perhaps not the best time to come at Saturday or Sunday. Well, that was Kawah Putih. Perhaps not the best time of day and the best weather conditions for it, but it happens. Now I've just got to wait for a yellow minibus to take me back to Chewy Day. I've missed two while I was buying some strawberries, so hopefully there'll be one along again shortly. Don't really want to wait in here for too long.
Well, I soon flagged down at Ancot heading back to Chewy Day, and this time the driver didn't try to rip me off. Well, I gave him 10,000 rupiah and he didn't say anything.
So the Ancot then from Kawah Putih drops you off here in Chewy Day, which is like, I guess, the main bus station. And loads small minivans over there. One of those will be going to Bandung. So this is the minibus that's going to take me back to Bandung. It's 20,000 rupiah and hopefully it's going to leave shortly.
Well, that's how you get to the White Crater using public transport. Tomorrow evening I'm off to Tasikmalaya, so until then, Sampai Jumpa lagi.